One of the questions that's been raised since Mass Effect Andromeda was announced is, how on earth are we going to get there? And the answer to that question is actually very simple. Interstellar travel. It's not a new concept by any stretch of the imagination, and it actually exists in today's world, but the means of achieving that in a reasonable time is the hard part. Now, I'm going to assume BioWare doesn't explain this rather big problem away with Mass Effect fields, space magic, or some other ridiculous plot device like they might come up with, such as a super relay, for example, which, to be fair, is what I think will probably end up being the case, but hey. Since it's fun to speculate, let's look into some of the more conventional methods of interstellar travel in the Mass Effect universe and see if we can apply them to the journey that awaits us here. Now, our options are really limited here. We have mass relay travel, which is the fastest form of travel in the Mass Effect universe, which is pretty much immediately thrown out of the window because the technology relies on having two relays present, one at launch point and one at the destination. So unless the relays were somehow modified into a super relay, which didn't require a receiving counterpart, or the Reapers for some bizarre reason happened to construct a relay in the Andromeda galaxy, which is probably really unlikely, the relay solution can't work. So, the next fastest method of conventional travel in the Mass Effect universe is via the use of Element Zero faster-than-light drives. These drives work by exposing Element Zero to electrical currents, which creates Mass Effect fields, also conventionally known as space magic. This allows the drive to reduce the mass of the object, for example a starship, to the point of where mass is low enough to be accelerated faster than the speed of light. The bonus of this is that you don't experience time dilation caused by bending space-time, which could potentially be problematic to things like time-sensitive missions. Since this pretty much spits in the face of Einstein and completely disregards physics as we know it, it's pretty much a plot device in itself, though at least it does make some sort of sense in the Mass Effect universe. Anyway, according to the lore, the fastest Citadel starships in the Mass Effect universe can travel about 15 light years in a day, or 5.5 times faster than the speed of light. Knowing this, it would take at least 450 years to take a trip to Andromeda, assuming you can come to a complete stop from maximum speed instantaneously. In reality, you'd probably need to slow down, but since nobody actually knows how Mass Effect fields work, the added time due to this is unknown. Oh, and did I mention that 50 hours into your 450-year flight, everyone would be immediately killed and the entire ship rendered useless by the FTL static charge that has just discharged into the hull? So yeah, that's a small problem that makes the FTL solution an impossible one as well. However, Reaper FTL drives are known to travel twice as fast as Citadel starships, meaning they can go as fast as 11,000 times faster than the speed of light. They also have the benefit of seemingly not being affected by the risk of the static charge building up and killing everyone, which is a big plus. The downside is that we have no idea how the technology works, or even what fuel it uses. Remember, they destroyed all the organic species supply lines instead of capturing them, so it's reasonable to assume that it doesn't run on conventional fuel. Somehow, if we could utilize Reaper FTL cores, this may be the most viable option. It would also take a lot less time to travel to Andromeda, a mere 230-year journey, which is easily within the lifespan of, say, an Asari, or something that lives a little longer, like a Krogan. A Krogan kind of like the ones that we've seen in the Mass Effect Andromeda trailers so far. Now, I'm reaching here, especially considering because I'm 90% sure that the actual explanation is still going to end up being Mass Effect fields or some other kind of space magic rather than something that actually makes sense. But the answer for me is some sort of advanced FTL drive and a bunch of stasis chambers. But what if we didn't have to travel at all? What if Andromeda came to us? You may not be aware, but the Andromeda galaxy is actually speeding towards the Milky Way at a rate of about 120 kilometers per second. For reference, that gets you to the moon and back in about 2 hours. This collision is a certainty in about 4 billion years. The two galaxies will collide and merge, so perhaps the journey may not be as impossibly large as it is today. Something to think about at least. Those are my thoughts. Whatever the official explanation is, it's certainly going to be an interesting one as far as actual physics are concerned, and I'll be interested to see how big a plot device they actually do end up using. Anyway, thanks for watching, goodbye.